Okay, welcome back, everybody. We are going to start in earnest, and whatever we are doing is going to be recorded so that those that are going to join the platform, we all know that after this, the platform itself is going to be active. So most of all, what we are doing here is going to be there. And this is just the beginning, because we will keep on doing other sessions that we will be bringing a lot of speakers that will always come here, both within Africa and globally, that have already indicated interest to join this platform. They will always be coming here to talk to us. So as I have given a brief introduction of what we are here to do, for those who are just joining, I've told you that my name is Obetin Mban. As you have seen on the screen, I'm a personal development and leadership coach, also the founder of Gold Mind Africa, a platform that helps young adults to discover their talents, optimize their leadership skills, and also place them for profitability. So at this moment, I am going to invite our host. No any other person. I always call her Gita. No any other person but Sophia Okeke. I believe at this moment, wherever she is, whether outside Nigeria or wherever, she's going to put on her video so that she will join the discussion, because she's going to take us from the beginning of the problem that she spotted about inclusion and diversity, both maybe in the family, the society, and in the workplace. So let us prepare ourselves as we call her to come and take the stage. Hello, Madam Sophia, you have the floor.
Good afternoon, everybody. Can you see me? Can you see me? Hello? Hello?
Yes.
Can you hear me? Okay. Okay. I'm going to see it. Like, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for coming. I am so grateful for this. This is really big for me, and I really hope you guys can see into this vision and tap into it. Okay, please, can you help me with my slides? Okay. Before Ubetin puts on my slide, okay, let me go to the chat box. Okay, thank you, Kenneth. Go to the slides, please. Okay, hold on a second. Let's put on the slides now. Okay.
Okay, I think the slide is coming on. Just wait a second. It's loading. All right. It's loading.
All right. Okay, the slides is here now. Okay, so let me start this with a little story. So last month, as you all know, my name is Sophia. Okay, most of you already know me. So into HR, human resources. I was thinking, oh, okay, I decided early this year that I was going to be more active and visible on LinkedIn. And then I started by posting every single day. I always post every single thing I feel about, like, the workplace and HR in general. And then I stumbled upon a diversity and inclusion. Someone posted something, Yemi Fashion. Some of you might know him. He's a very popular global leader. He posted something on diversity and inclusion. He posted how how people in the workplace are not being seen for who they are. And so I said, sorry, it was the network. Okay. So I said I realized that there was something that was usually going on everywhere, which is called bias. For example, you walk and see everywhere is quiet, and whenever the thing comes into everywhere is usually quiet, everybody is usually scared. Some people don't talk. You can go into a really big multinational organization and you won't know up to 10% of people there. You'll be wondering why is it that there are some people that are usually excluded from so many things in the organization. And I've always realized there was an interview I went for 2 months back. And when I entered into the hall, I realized everybody were talking and gisting and everything. And then when the boss came in, everybody started to pretend, nobody was talking anymore, stuff like that. And I wondered why was it happening. And then I realized that some people in the organization are they are timid, not because they don't have anything to offer to the organization, but just because they don't feel valued in the organization. They feel like their input is needed in the organization. I realize that this bias happens every day, not just in the workplace, every single way, both in our families, in our homes, in our communities, and globally. And so, what is bias? Can someone tell me what is bias? Don't copy from my presentation. Just from your own personal, what do you think bias is? What is unconscious bias? You can type it on the chat box if you don't want to talk. That's fine. What is bias? I'm waiting. So waiting has removed the slide so that you guys don't copy. That's good. Can you guys think bias is? Because it's a very popular problem, and I've noticed it, but you won't know, you won't really like take cognizance of it. You just overlook that little thing that causes that big explosion. Do you understand? So just tell me what is bias in the comment, or you can unmute yourself and speak as well if you don't want to type it in the comment section. I'm waiting for you guys. Oh, I don't want to call names. So just tell me. Kenneth, can you tell me what is bias, please? Since nobody wants to speak, I'll call names. Oh, someone has, okay, type it on the group chat. Okay, Kenneth said it's a prejudice for or against one person, especially in a way considered to be unfair. Yeah, that's true. Look, you can put on the slide back. Yes, bias is like it's a prejudice actually. It's something that some people do it unconsciously without realizing it. They just tell someone, oh, for example, let me give an example. For example, now I personally, let's say, let me use tribe and Igbo, and then I get into a setting where I see a lot of people speaking Yoruba. The first thing that comes, no, when I say a lot of people, the first thing on my mind is, oh, obviously Yoruba people, this is how they are. They talk too much. They do this. They always speak their language in a public setting. I'm already being biased about them. So when I go into anywhere to speak on anything, and I see anybody that is exhibiting that behavior, what do I think? Oh, this person is Yoruba, definitely. So I've already put that person in a box just because I didn't even give that person the benefit of doubt to know the person up close. I already put that person in a box like, oh, this person is definitely Yoruba for acting this way. And it's something that goes long way because you now start treating the person exactly the way Yoruba people are. So from my slide, you see that unconscious bias refers to a person's attitude or belief about others that happens without the person being aware of it. Exactly. These biases are based on common facts or your past experience that may affect how you think of people. Like the example I gave, something that happened to me in the past. So as time goes on, I keep seeing people as that, as people who seeing other people as that, or any other tribe or race or gender. You understand? So one of our speakers is going to be emphasizing more on the gender bias, and second speaker will emphasize more on Black people. So moving forward to the next slide, please. Okay, so now this is the fun part where I need everybody to be very active. I want to hear your voices. I don't want to speak alone. it feels really weird that no one is talking. So I want to hear your voices. So because I'm going to explain this one by one. So there are various categories of unconscious bias. There is ageism. Many of us know this one. In the office place where we have the baby boomers, the millennials, and the Gen Z. The Gen Z are the present generation where who they see as, oh, okay, they are the techie type, they are the type that want to do remote work. They don't want to come to work by 8 a.m. They like the chilled life. Do you understand? And this is baby boomers, which are the older generations. Oh, they are archaic. They can't. They are not really good with their systems. You've already put them in that box. So when you go to the office and let's say your boss is like 50, 60 years old, and you don't you by yourself, you don't give him a system to try and do something. You feel like, oh, he's old, he won't be able to use it. And you give there's many young people that don't know how to operate a system. You might not know that there are so many young people that don't know how to operate a system, but you think they can because of the generational stereotype you keep on them. So that's the ageism bias. And the height bias. Oh, we all know this one. Because this person is tall, the person is supposed to be, either you say, oh, the person is supposed to be a model, and then short people are not supposed to be models. I'm so happy right now. I'm seeing so many people that are not so tall that are actually models. I'm glad to see that now. And also the weight, you see people, the weight bias, you see that, you think fat people eat a lot. And you think, slim people don't eat. Fat people, there's some people that are actually on the big side that might not be so good in eating. They might not really like eating. It might just be because of their background, their family members, or it's something that is in their family. Do you understand? And slim people, there's some people that eat a lot. I know a number of slim people that eat a lot. So you can't say, oh, because the person is fat, eat a lot, too much food. Then the conformity bias. The conformity bias is, for example, when you agree to what someone is saying because you don't want to make the person feel bad. When, for example, you're in a board meeting and the team lead is asked for everybody's opinion on a particular presentation, and everybody says, and one person just raises their hand and be like, oh, I think this presentation is not so good. I think we should do this, blah, blah, blah. And then when they ask for every other person's opinion, it depends on the position of the person that gave his own opinion. Everybody sees it as, oh, because of what this person said, he definitely has to be right. And then everybody conforms to it that, oh, yes, this person is right. That's like the example of the conformity bias. And the affinity bias, this is the bias that happens when you feel connected to someone, and because of that, you want to favor the person. For example, you're a recruiter. I am a recruiter, and I won't lie to you. I am guilty of this. I was guilty of this until I discovered bias and I started becoming very, very cautious of it. For example, you want to hire someone in an interview, and then I call the person, and the person starts to tell me, oh, I schooled in Unilag, I did this. Subconsciously, I already have a soft spot for that person because I also schooled in Unilag. So I'm like, okay, this thing of, oh, Unilag students are really smart, this and that. So I see the person that, oh, this person was really good. Oh, I need to shortlist this person for my client. Like, I might not even go forward and getting to know. I already have although I'll listen to the person, but I already have a soft spot for the person. Do you understand? That's like an example of the affinity bias. And the halo bias is basically a bias where you give someone an advantage, someone that might have done something for you in the past, and you give the person preference over all that. You don't know what the person is doing right now. You feel like because this person did something for me in the past, or because of how this person was in the past, then you favor the person over other people. That's the halo bias. And the perception bias is basically, it's almost the same thing as the affinity bias. It's how you feel about things. It's basically how you feel about a group of people. Imagine, for example, there's this club I know of, Rotary Club. So I've been to a Rotary Club meeting before, and I know that they like parties a lot. Do you understand? So I know that they like parties a lot. So now imagine I get to interview someone, and the person tells me, oh, put on the CV that he or she is from Rotary Club. In my mind, I'm like, oh, this person is going to like to party too much. This person might not be this, that. So I already gave the person, I'm already being biased towards that person because of the association, the group he or she is associated with. And also the last one, which is the confirmation bias. This one happened a lot during COVID-19. During COVID-19, everybody were thinking, oh, the world is coming to an end. Everybody started to look for evidence that proved their own opinion about something. Nobody was trying to take the precautionary method of doing the whole face masks, hand wash and every single thing. Everybody were bringing their own theory, trying to find data about what they think COVID-19 bringing. So before I go to the next slide, I want everybody, because it's too quiet for me, I want everyone to give me like an example of situations where they feel they've been biased. I want everyone to give me an example of where they feel they've been biased. So please, can someone speak, please? Or on the comment section, give me examples. I mean, nobody's going to judge you here. Just give me examples of where you think you've been biased, where you think you've, been doing something for someone and stuff like that, and you feel like, oh, okay, that's true. I was actually biased about this person in this situation. So can someone speak or, give me, or type it in the comment section, please? I'm waiting.
Wow. In fact, what she was saying here concerning bias, just as we said in the beginning, almost everybody, we have that element of bias in us. Like, let me just share my own. As a recruiter, most times, like for instance, if I'm recruiting a graphic designer, what comes into my mind instantly is, oh, the person has to be a male. But I came to realize, but we have excellent graphic designers that are female. So it was when I became aware of this that, oh, I always judge people, especially when it comes to graphic design, that, oh, it is guys that do graphics more than women. So it is that that point where I became aware that I was having this in my mindset, that I was able to move away from this bias. So if you have your own that you have been going through, most times you may not know, but as soon as you are able to spot it out that, oh, this is what I always do, that is the time you will be able to start working on it and you go off it. So I will encourage everybody, if you have yours, just point it out. Through this, you are going to get off it, because it will really help us both in the workplace, in our homes, and also in the society. So we would love to hear from everybody.
Can someone speak, please? Why are you guys not talking now? Nobody is going to judge you. Just share your own view of how you. I mean, I've shared mine. I know I've been biased in so many ways, and it's not something that's going to end in one day. You have to make conscious effort and intentional effort to making it, work. So, can someone tell me something on the comment section, or should I call someone? This is not a classroom. Let me not call someone. Okay, Falashade said, in the job market, there is the age bias in terms of age limit for job growth. Yes, that is so true. That's actually true. I've never really understood why you tell me, you say, oh, okay, I want someone with so age. What makes you think the person of that age can't perform on that job? Why can't we focus on the person's abilities and capabilities instead of focusing on, oh, whether this person can do this, or because of the person's age, you place a particular stigma on that person that, they can't do it. Trust me, I've actually done that before too. So, like, when I discovered this, I started to remember all of the biases I've subconsciously done without even, thinking about it twice. So thank you for that, Shade. And your last said gender bias. And last, can you give us an example of you being biased with gender? If you want to speak.
Hi.
Okay. Yeah, I can hear you, Jennifer.
Okay, so I want to talk about conformity bias. Like, for instance, like an interview, or like a panel, like an interview, basically a particular number will decide to go for a particular candidate because of the other people express like a favorable opinion about that particular candidate. Like they don't even know if the person is fit for the job, but just because like a particular number of people say, okay, I think this person is fit for the job, then others are like, okay, let's also go with this. I don't know if I'm making sense, but that's about conformity bias.
Okay, thank you very much, Jennifer. That's actually true. In the interview hall, and there are like 3 people, and 2 people say, "Oh yeah, this person is really good. Let's go with this person." And you're the last person feels like, "Okay, everybody's doing better," because I don't want to
Exactly.
create an uncomfortable environment or make anybody
Yeah.
feel bad. So I feel like, oh, let me actually conform
Yeah.
to this. But you might have contrary opinion about it, but you might not
Yes.
stand with what other people
On your
have.
ground,
Thank you very
yeah.
much, Jennifer. So,
Occur-
okay, so let's go to the next slide. So yeah, there are several implications of unconscious bias. I mean, so many people are going through this every single day. Someone actually reached out to me when I posted about this program that she's so happy I'm actually doing this because she's good, and she told me she's a product manager and really like to share her story with a lot of people, a lot of disabled people, and give them a sense of inspiration. And I was really glad I like there's some people out there that actually want to talk about these things, that actually want to share their views and give their voices to these things, but they don't have the right platform for it. So that essence of the community and creators, it's like a safe space. It's like a vulnerable space for to share your opinions, share your own stories, and basically to learn. There's so much to learn out there. Like I realized that there's actually so much to learn out there that we are so blind to. So yeah, when you are being biased about someone situation, it can create unfairness in the workplace because you are not being fair to everybody. You are bringing some people over other people. So definitely the rest will feel less than, they will feel excluded, and they might not speak because there's no one to speak for them. So I'm going to talk about how you can speak up for people in the later slide. So the next one is impact hiring. We said that a lot about how this impacts our hiring process and the like, and it also affects the way you think about you. Your thinking makes you more shallow in thinking, for lack of languages. So it also hinders a diverse workforce. Yeah, because when you feel like, oh, this person is not like me, so why did I bring this person on board? It 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 makes it hard for other people to come into that environment because they don't feel welcome. So it hinders an environment where there should be diverse cultures, background, ethnicity, race, and the like. It also prevents an inclusive workplace. Yes, it prevents an environment where everybody feels inclusive. Everybody feels like not everybody wants to raise up their hand to speak because they feel they are constantly judged by their disadvantage. So the next slide, please. So now, for us to solve this problem, well, we have to be very intentional. We have to make up our mind that, okay, this is happening. This is actually happening. We have to acknowledge that fact. And the solution to this is diversity and inclusion. Imagine, for example, you work in a multinational environment where there are so many people of different culture. There are the blacks, the whites, the Asians, every single one of them. And then it's definitely going to be overwhelming for you. Like, oh my God, this is a lot of people. How am I supposed to blend in? Do you understand? But it's needed. We need that diversity because diverse people bring fresh ideas to the table. They have various backgrounds, they come from various places. So they bring this fresh opinion about things, and then you get to know things from outside your comfort zone. Do you understand? And that's where inclusion comes in. You have to be inclusive. It's not just by saying you want to make friends with people that are of different color than you. You have to always bring them in. You have to be intentional to the aspect of, oh, if you notice from the speakers, I was intentional to make sure they were 2 female and 2 male. It boils down to every single thing. Like I had to be intentional about that. I had to make sure there was gender balance. Do you understand? So that's the thing about inclusion. Inclusion is act of creating fairness. It's making everybody feel like they are welcome, feel like their background is accepted by you. It's wanting to hear what they have to say and believing that the quality of their words makes a big decision for the organization and your environment. So the next slide. So now, allyship. Allyship is is something that it's a form of inclusion. You know, it's one thing to say you want to bring different people into your board, into your meetings, into your company. It's one thing to say you want to bring them in. What next after you bring them in? How do you make them feel welcomed? How do you make them feel like they belong in your organization, in your setting, in your environment? That's where allyship comes in. Allyship is recognizing your privileges and your power to create change and influencing an inclusive culture. It's creating a habit opportunity that help marginalized or underrepresented groups lift up their voice. Allyship is like, it's not just you bringing it together, like I said, it's an advocacy. It's advocating for people that feel less than. Like, for example, the girl I told you that texted me on LinkedIn that she wanted to share her views. She's disabled and she's doing so well in her career, but not many people see that. They only see her disability. They sympathize with her disability. They don't see her potential for something other than what they physically see. So it's me saying, like, because of that, I want to be an ally to disabled people. I want to just, it's a lifelong decision. It's something that, it's a lifelong action. It's something that I believe companies, organizations, communities should actually adopt. It's organizing trainings for people. It's giving, it's actually making real change. It's not just talking about it. There's so many people, for example, you don't apply for a job, you see on the job description, if you really pay attention to the job description, and I know not many of us pay attention to it, but they will tell you that they will say we are an equal employer, and we have so many platforms for people. We have so many opportunities for people to learn and stuff like that. It's not just that. What Let's move forward. I come into the organization and I don't see what you wrote on your job description or on the offer letter. I don't see it there in the company. How am I supposed to know that, oh, this company do things like this? Do you understand? So allyship is like a lifelong decision. It's what the platform is there for. Is to create more awareness about how to curb bias. Is to make people feel more inclusive. Is to make them feel more welcoming, belonging, and equal in the organization. Next slide, please. So that's basically it. So for you to curb biases, but you have to acknowledge that the problem exists. Like I said before, you have to accept. No many people want to have this conversation. Everybody are feeling uncomfortable. Oh my God, I don't want to have this conversation. You feel like you're going to be judged. So you have to have this conversation. You have to identify your biases. You have to be careful in your decision. When you make a decision, always know that, oh, this decision I'm making, am I making it, am I being objective about this decision? Or am I just making a decision because I'm being biased to this person? I know this person, or from all the bias you saw earlier. So you have to be careful of your decisions and always constantly evaluate yourself. You have to always decide that, oh, I want to stand up for bias. I want to be an ally for every underrepresented group. It's and then from this platform, you would learn how to be culturally aware. There are so many things about some cultures that I learned during my process of all of this, and I realized that, oh wow, people actually go through this. I'm actually so surprised. Like, I have no right to complain anymore. Like, there are so many things about people's cultures that you have to learn, so you know how to relate and position yourself for that environment, for that kind of environment. If you're not there, and if you are there, you have to be a better leader moving forward. And you also have to avoid making assumptions. Learn to get your facts right, because if you make assumptions, like my boss would always say, don't give me assumptions, give me the facts, tell me exactly what is happening. Do you understand? So you also have to make reasonable decisions. Like I said, deliberate in your decision making. When you're in an environment and you notice that someone is being biased about the other person, why not just speak up? Why can't you stand up for that person? at that point in time, you don't know the kind of impact you have made for that person. You've done so much for the person might not even realize it now. Then, but in the long run, so you all have to personally decide to be an ally to people wherever you find yourself. Always apologize when you are wrong. There's so much to know about allyship, but you will get to know that once you join the platform. I can't take all of this now because of time. You understand? Because allyship is like a very broad topic. It's really big, and you get to know more about it in the long run. This is just like an overview of it and the reason why this platform exists. Next slide, please. So yeah, from everything I've said, I've taken